Hi, it's Abby from Abby the Librarian, and I'm back with another video this week for Middle Grade May. If you don't know what Middle Grade May is, it's just where we read all kinds of middle grade books in May and tweet about them or post about them, any social media, with the hashtag Middle Grade May, so that we can all find some great books to read. And this week, our host, Akos, has set the theme of heartbreaking reads. And I remember the first book that ever made me cry. It was A Summer to Die by Lois, Lowry, and I read it in the 5th grade. And I just remember feeling like so grown up that this book was like giving me these emotions and like eliciting this reaction. And I think a lot of kids are drawn to books that kind of give them the feels, you know, make them feel mature and worldly because they are having these feelings. So I have 3 books today to just do little short book talks. And the first book that I brought is The Honest Truth by Dan Gemeinhart. And this is a book about a kid named Mark, and Mark has cancer. So he had cancer when he was little, and he went through the treatment, and he got better when the cancer went away. But lately he's been having these headaches, and a call from his doctor confirms that the cancer is back. And so Mark does something that, you know, might be a little bit crazy. He decides he's going to go climb a mountain. Now he is sick, he's weak, but he knows that this could possibly be the end for him. You know, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to beat the cancer again. And if this is going to be the end, if he is going to die, then he wants to do some living before he dies. He wants to do this one courageous thing all on his own. And so he sets off. And the heartbreaking thing for me is that these kind of like in-between chapters tell the story of the folks that are left behind. Mark's parents and his best friend. And just that thought of like having a kid out there where you don't know where they are and you don't know what's happening to them. And you know that they have these special needs, this medication, this, you know, condition, just breaks my heart. So this is one that when I book talk it to librarians and teachers, I think it makes a really good kind of stepping stone kind of book for The Fault in Our Stars if kids are maybe not quite ready for that level of, you know, that kind of that young adult content, but they're interested in that type of story. I think this is a great one. It's also got a lot of kind of survival adventure to it. So even kids that maybe don't necessarily care about the feels, but they, you know, are interested in a survival story, they may also like this as well. And that is The Honest Truth by Dan Gemeinhart. The next book that I want to tell you about, I don't actually have with me today because the library copy was checked out. I'm so glad somebody is reading it. But it is a September 11th story, and it is called Towers Falling by Jewell Parker Rhodes. And Towers Falling is about a girl named Deja, and she's had a lot of changes in her young life. Her dad is sick, and Deja doesn't really understand what's wrong with him, but sometimes he has trouble getting out of bed. He can't really hold down a job, and so their family doesn't have a lot of money, and they have to move around a lot, and the latest move has been to a place called Avalon, which is a homeless shelter. And believe me, it is not as fancy as it sounds. Now, Deja's starting a new school, and she knows what that means. She knows that she has to be the tough kid, because if any of the kids found out where she lives, they would make fun of her. She would be the poor kid. They would pity her. She doesn't want any of that. But this new school is different than her other schools that she's been to, and she finally starts to make some friends, and she feels what it's like to be part of a community. And it's 2016. The book came out in 2016, and it's set in 2016, which is the 15th anniversary of September 11th. And the book takes place in New York, and Deja's school is starting a unit for the kids to learn about September 11th. Now, that sounds kind of maybe a little strange to adults because we probably very vividly remember September 11th. But, you know, kids today, they weren't born then. Deja wasn't born when September 11th happened. And she's starting to feel like nobody tells kids anything because there's so much she doesn't know about it. Now, when her dad finds out that their school is studying September 11th, they're doing this whole unit, he gets really mad. And he threatens to pull her out of that school. And Deja, she just can't let that happen because this is one of the best things that has happened to her. So she's got to figure out, why is her dad so mad? Why is he having this reaction? And also, how can she convince him to leave her in this school? Because, you know, it's such a great thing for her. So again, the heartbreaking thing for me is thinking about these adults living in New York that went through September 11th that now have to turn around and teach kids who have no idea about what it was like and what it meant, and the way that Jewell Parker Rhodes really shows what they are going through, what these teachers are going through, rather than just telling you like the teachers are sad or the teachers, got mad or whatever. It just really made me feel some feels too as I was reading it. The last book that I want to share with you is this book, Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie by Jordan Sonnenblick. And what I love about this book is that it is kind of equal parts funny and heartbreaking. It made me laugh, it made me cry, and that is my favorite thing when books can do both of those things. So this book is about a boy named Steven, and he's in middle school. He's in the 8th grade. He plays the drums in the band. He has a crush on a popular girl, all the normal things. His little 5-year-old brother just always annoys him. Just a normal middle school life. But then his little brother, Jeffrey, is diagnosed with cancer. And suddenly everything is different, and Steven's having to navigate this new world. And it's also really hard to be totally annoyed by your little brother when he is a cancer kid and he's going through treatment, and you just feel like you can't be annoyed by him anymore. So it's about Steven, dealing with that and dealing with the changes in his family and feeling helpless because his little brother's going through this. There's nothing he can do to protect him or to help. Or at least he thinks that that is the case until he finds a way. So this is a great book it's a great sibling story. It's a great character book, and it's a great book for kids who like funny stuff, but who also like stuff that's like sometimes funny and sometimes serious. Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie. And Jordan Sonnenblick has another book that has a very similar tone to this one, which is Notes from the Midnight Driver, which is a little more kind of young adult, but also another great one that also made me laugh and made me cry. So those are 3 heartbreaking reads for you. If you also like to feel the feels, I would recommend any of those books. And I hope that you will post and comment and let us know what middle grade you are reading this month for middle grade May. I can't wait to see. And I will see you again next week. Bye.